We recording? Good evening. The Planning Commission meeting of January 4th, 2023 will come to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The secretary will call roll.
Commissioner Mayer,
Did you say mayor or man?
Mayor. Here. Commissioner Mann is absent. Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Vice Chairperson Rice is absent. Chairperson Tolson?
Here. May I have a motion for approval of the agenda? Commissioner Kennedy or Mayor?
Motion to approve?
I have a first. I need a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. I've got a motion was made by Commissioner Kennedy with a second by Commissioner Mayer. Unless there are any objections, the agenda stands approved. We are going to make two changes to the agenda prior to asking for a second motion. I'd like to do item number 4, election of officers. Inasmuch as we have two absent commissioners, I'd like to push that to January 18th. In addition, our item number 7, the approval of the minutes from November 23rd. Inasmuch as we have two brand-new commissioners who may need to abstain from that, that would not give us a way to approve those. And so, again, we'll push those off to January 18th. And I think that is the only two changes that we need to make. Okay?
You can actually approve the minutes if you want.
By myself.
No, you have a quorum, so you can do that here with the president, but it depends on the comfort level.
Okay. I think we're just going to push it off. So with those two changes in the agenda, I'll now ask for a motion for the amended agenda approval.
Would that also include the assumption of the chair by the new person, item number 5?
You got it correct. Item number 5 would be postponed also.
Consensus?
Is there a consensus on those 3 items?
Motion to approve?
I'll second it.
Beautiful. So we have a motion made by Commissioner Kennedy and a second by Commissioner Mayer with a amended agenda. And unless there's any other objections, will stands as modified. Declaration of conflict. The secretary will read the declaration of conflict.
If any member of the Planning Commission may have a conflict of interest or any reason why that member must abstain from consideration of any matter on this agenda, he or she should so declare at this time.
Are there any declarations of conflict? If there's none, we will proceed. And now this is the time set aside for public statements. This is the time for public statements. Is there anyone in the chamber wishing to be heard on items other than the agenda items? Okay. Hearing none. Any correspondence from the Deputy Director, City Planner?
We have no correspondence tonight, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Gibson. No consent items. We do have a continued business. So this is the time and place set aside for a continued public hearing on the consideration of PD-S-2022-007, a second time extension for the construction of a movie studio building on an approved movie studio backlot, and the determination that this project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. Are there any ex parte communications to report? I had a conversation with Mr. Gordon today on the phone about the project and discussed some of the challenges of what they're looking for in extension, and that's my ex parte communication. May we have an oral report on this matter by staff?
Thank you, Chairman Tolson, members of the Planning Commission. Yes, this is a recommendation for a 3-year time extension for the Allied Studios out at 6700 Smith Road. Our Associate Planner, Cesar Hernandez, will provide a presentation tonight.
Thank you, Deputy. The applicant, Adelaide Realty Partners, is requesting a 3-year time extension to approve project number PDS 1039 to allow conceptual approval of a movie studio building up to 200,000 square feet. The applicant is eligible for a 3-year time extension at the discretion of the Planning Commission, provided that the applicant files a renewal application prior to the expiration of the permit and complies with the required findings. On June 2nd, 2022, on June 3rd, 2022, the applicant filed for a second 3-year time extension due to the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. There are no changes to the approved design and no construction is proposed at this time. The time extension would extend the expiration date from June 27, 2022 to June 27, 2025. The project site is located at 6700 Smith Road, approximately 760 feet east of Cooner Drive. The lot is located adjacent to and immediately west of an existing movie studio at 6800 Smith Road, as shown in the aerial map. The 9.11 acre flat lot is currently vacant and has been used for occasional movie filming under temporary filming permits. Adjacent properties include a single-family residence to the north, railroad tracks to the south, and interim horse boarding to the west. And to give some quick background on the difference on a movie studio and a back lot, terms you're going to hear tonight, is the back lot, which is approved under PDS 1036, is an area behind or adjoining a movie studio containing permanent exterior buildings for outdoor scenes in filmmaking or television production. The elements of the film studio include sound stages, house recording studios, digital effects departments. On October 28, 2013, City Council approved the applicant's request to initiate an amendment to the general plan land use designation from commercial recreation to industrial with an associated zone change. On June 27, 2016, City Council approved the general plan amendment to change the land use designation from commercial recreation to industrial and the zoning from commercial recreation to light industrial to allow for a movie studio backlot and movie studio, both permitted uses in the Ally Zone. A plan development permit 1039 was also approved in 2016 to allow the flexible use of the site for backlot filming and the construction of a 200,000 square foot movie studio building. An administrative modification will be required for the movie studio building and will include all the site improvements. In August of 2019, the first of 3 administrative time extensions was approved due to changes in the demand and mix of TV film production space. In terms of environmental review, no new information has become available that contradicts the analysis in the initial study and the mitigating negative declaration since the M&D was adopted by the City Council in 2016. Therefore, no subsequent negative declaration is required for the project, and the previously adopted M&D can be used, and the current time extension request is categorically exempt. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve PDS 2022-0007, a 3-year time extension to approve project number PDS 1039. This concludes staff's presentation. staff will address any questions from the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Are there any questions from any commissioners at this time to staff?
I was reading through, and there's some zoning for high-density residential in this area as well. Is that correct?
Adjacent to the lot?
Yeah, in proximity to the lot, yes.
Yeah, there, I believe so.
Is that proposed construction or existing?
Oh, and this permit?
Yep.
Yeah, no, the permit only includes for a movie studio on the back lot itself, right? There's no residential component to this project?
I understand. I just, maybe I misread it in going through it briefly, but there is proximity to high-density residential? Is that a future high-density?
Potential high density.
Potential, oh, right,
Okay.
of course. Yeah, that would obviously be taken into consideration. There are height limits for commercial industrial buildings we have.
Thank you.
Commissioner Mayor, any questions? Beautiful. I don't have any questions. We will open the public testimony portion of the hearing. Would the applicant like to present the project? I've got 3 cards here. I've got Brad Rosenheim, representing the developer.
Good evening, Commission members. My name is Brad Rosenheim on behalf of Allied Realty Partners. They're the owners and applicants for the backlot and the motion picture studio project. I want to thank Mr. Hernandez for his very thorough written report and presentation this evening, and just let the commissioners know that we're very supportive of the recommendation and appreciate it, and would respectfully request that the time extension be granted. I hope to be able to answer questions if you have them. Unfortunately, Mr. Gordon was not able to be here tonight. He had a last-minute issue come up. But thank you very much.
Stay right there for a sec. Are there any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Mayor?
Yes. That's right now, right? Okay. My only question, and thank you, this is a clean project. I appreciate clean business and bringing new jobs to Simi Valley, and also extending it to our restaurants and maybe lodging. And so I really appreciate this project. And I actually watched the city council meeting in 2016. I went to see the lot right now. And my only question is, in the next 3 years, do you guys plan on actually submitting any plans to the city?
That is the hope, yes. Right now, we're working on the financing to be able to actually construct the additional sound stages. So our hope is to come in within the next 3 years, hopefully sooner rather than later, with the proposed modification to provide for the studios themselves.
And one other question. Is there anything that city can assist you with to overcome those hurdles?
Well, I don't know. Mr. Gordon might say, well, some financing would be wonderful, but I think the city has been extremely cooperative in working through this process, so that's really all we can ask from a city,
Thank
and
you.
appreciate that help.
Commissioner Kennedy, any questions for him? Beautiful. Thank you very much. Maybe just share with us, the public, the reason for the extension.
Well, in this last 3 years, as you all know, the COVID situation has really made it very difficult to anticipate how to best accommodate future filming, the nature of the studios, and then the financing associated with actually building that. And that's what really the delay has been for this past 3 years. Our hope is that we're past that, and we can move forward and get the financing together and be able to actually construct the project.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and take a seat. We've got a
Thank you.
couple members of the public who'd like to speak on this project. We are going to go Karen Smith O'Grady, sorry. You want to do a twofer? Because I've got 2 different cards.
If we could.
Okay, we're going to give you 5 minutes together.
Okay. Perfect, that's all we need. Okay, we live directly across at 6731 Smith Road. In the last, originally when my mother-in-law, who lives there now, moved there, it was all zoned differently. Since then, and the only thing that was on that street was a furniture factory down at the end there, which is now turned into a studio. Anyway, so our concern is that street is just kind of deteriorating from a residential into industrial. And the traffic, it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed zone there. No one goes 25. The corner lot is a mess because it's vacant and people go there when it rains and drive their trucks around in it and foul up the street with mud up and down. And there's times when they're filming also at Corriganville. There was 5 different productions going on at once about a month ago, and we weren't even allowed in the park. So there's things like that that we're concerned about if this just keeps getting
Escalating.
bigger and bigger and bigger. There's 5 families that have been on that street for quite a while, and it's just getting too crowded, and there's no patrolling of it, and we're just concerned how this is going to impact us.
And why is it exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act? What it says right here.
So at this point, your job, you're allowed to do presentations, questions. It's not a back and forth kind of thing.
Okay. So what, we're just supposed to tell you what we,
Well, we're mainly just concerned because we live directly across the
and
street.
there's a lot of wildlife there too.
And we just see it getting more and more populated with production crews and things like that. Sometimes the whole street is just full of cars,
Speeding.
plus speeding. So it's just a concern of ours that we'd like maybe more patrolling of it, enforcing of the 25-mile-an-hour zone, and maybe if something could be done on the corner lot where it's just,
It's the mud womping.
it's mud womping. And that goes till midnight on the weekends, so.
There's a corner lot on.
It's
Junior
vacant.
And Smith, and they mud walk, and they bring the dirt into Smith Road. So now you gotta drive around it, so it's kind of dangerous to be driving around this big, huge dirt, thing.
Yeah,
And I
the
know
mud-
they want to have fun and mud womp in there, but Smith Road is just a little, residential. Well, now I guess it's not I don't know, is it still residential? So, I don't know. I guess you're not supposed to.
There's, one side light industrial and the other side residential.
No, it's agricultural on my side, so.
So, anyway, well, it just basically boils down to where we're concerned that this is getting worse and worse as far as congestion, speeding, and just other things. We find trash that I can't even mention in here. So that was basically it. We just wanted to voice our concerns about all that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room who wants to speak on this project that hasn't turned a green card? Okay. Are there any comments from staff regarding statements made during the public hearing?
Yes, Chairman, I'll refer you to Ms. Pedroso, who may have a response on the CEQA and the items raised.
Yes, thank you. Regarding CEQA, the reason why this particular project, which is the time extension, is exempt is because the original project, which is the building of the new the new building, nothing has changed on that. There hasn't been any changes in rules and regulations or code or anything like that. So nothing has changed that would trigger for a new environmental review on the project, which is just a time extensions, and that's why it's considered to be exempt. And that's per CEQA rules, per the state requirements. So that's what that is. In regards to the concerns raised by the residents, we do hear the concerns regarding the corner lot that they're referring to. That's not part of this project. So although that's a concern, it's not something that is related to this project. And again, as far as the activities that are going on with the current movie studio, that's more something that be related to potentially code compliance as far as investigating what's going on and if there's any disturbances. Again, for this particular project, and maybe Mr. Cáceres can expand on that, but the purview of the review is just for the actual time extension of the movie studio that has already been approved like in the past, and it's just a matter of asking for additional time. So the concerns are valid, however, they're not part of the project at hand that we're reviewing. Only Mr. Gibson wants to add.
And I'll
anything.
follow up with that. With the administrative mod process, that means that for the up to 200,000 square foot industrial building, there will still be an administrative public hearing, so there will be another chance to review the building plans and the building conditions related to that. Would be approved as an administrative level hearing, so there's another opportunity to express your concerns later on if those issues have not been resolved by then.
That would include traffic as well.
I think Mr. Caceres was explaining that any kind of improvements that they will end up doing will have traffic control studies as a part of that. And so they'll address those issues at that point. I think what Ms. Pedrosa was saying was that what's happening now is based upon what's the facility that's in use, not necessarily the property or the project that we're discussing. I think we have a city council person in the room who might be able to, stir up some questions about policing, and then maybe we could have staff reach out to the park district to maybe discuss about Corriganville, because they have their own park rangers and the kind of usage there. Again, this is a project that we're discussing here. You're talking about the other issues that are ongoing. It might very much so, potentially. And then Mr. Caceres was explaining that there's always the process of reaching out to the city and their code enforcement for maybe the recreational folks and those kind of things. That's an option for yourself too. Okay, so maybe document that and share that with anybody who's, public official, city council kind of thing. Beautiful. So, would the applicant like to respond to any of the comments regarding statements made during the public hearing? Beautiful. Are there any, if there's no further questions, we will close the public testimony hearing of the portion of the hearing. Are there any comments or questions from members of the Planning Commission? Commissioner Kennedy, please.
Yeah, I just want to say we hear you loud and clear on this, and I'm sure it'll be future considerations as this project continues on with the developers.
Commissioner Mayer?
Yeah, I also want to piggyback on your, we have a commissioner, we have a city council person here, so also would help to call the police constantly. I know that from my own experience, and just keep on calling. They're going to probably increase the patrolling.
You'll have to come up to the podium.
Can you come up to the podium real quick?
Did we close the public testimony?
We did.
Okay, so sorry. So there's they can't have feedback unless you want to reopen the public hearing.
Okay. I think we should open up the public hearing. Go ahead.
We have tried that before and gotten nowhere with the Simi Valley Police. So there was an instance in the 4th of July when that corner lot, there was people lighting off fireworks, and there was gunshots, I'm sure, because I own guns and I know what they sound like opposed to fireworks. We called the Simi Police, said it wasn't their jurisdiction, and that they would refer it to the sheriff. And they never did, so, but.
We're not sure about that, but is the property that you're saying on the corner, is that county property then?
No, it's private property.
No, I'm saying, is it county versus city? When they referred to the county sheriff, there might be
I don't know. It's a thing between them that it's almost like neither one of them want to do anything about it. Yeah, So, and then there's park rangers that take care of Corriganville. So it's kind of where three jurisdictions meet. And it's a toss-up, so.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Any other public testimony? We're going to close this public testimony. I think what we're doing is we're trying to address your concerns. At the same time, we're going to focus on the project that's before us. There hasn't been any changes from previously extended time, so that's why the CEQA application hasn't been changed. There's been no modifications, so there's no need to change that. It's as is existing. And was there any other comments, questions for yourself, Commissioner Mayer?
Yeah, I just want to thank the staff. I actually read the mitigation plan, and I really appreciate what you guys did. That was all.
Beautiful. And my opinion real quick is this is a project that down the road may be good for our city, both economically and otherwise. It's zoned appropriately. In the past, it's been a commercial furniture place, and now it's a movie studio. And then the property that we're addressing today is, again, a potential boon for our city, tax-wise, job-wise, and the like. The property itself is in the TMZ, the 30-mile zone, which is, again, has advantageous ramifications to our city as it relates to filming and that kind of thing. And the project and the company that's currently there and who's potentially going to build this project has a good history of being reputable and doing great projects. So I personally am in favor of the extension. We're just pushing down the road what potentially could be there. And so any concerns that the citizens might have will be addressed down the road. But I think tonight, I think we should move forward. May I have a reading of the resolution?
Resolution number SVPC 01-2023. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Simi Valley to consider a plan development permit PDS 2022-0007 for a 3-year time extension to a previously approved project, PDS 1039, for the construction of a movie studio building on an approved movie studio backlot located at 6700 Smith Road, and a determination that the project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act.
Thank you very much. The chair will now entertain a motion.
I'll motion it.
So you can read that on page 8.
I move to adopt a resolution approving PDS 2022-0007, a time extension for the construction of a movie studio building on an approved movie studio backlot, and a determination that the project is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act.
A motion was made by Commissioner Mayer. May I have a second? I will second. Beautiful. Can we call for the vote? He's got to lock the vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. The motion passes. The appeal period for the time extension is 14 calendar days. And let me get to my next item. That's what I'm working on. Getting there. Any oral communications, Mr. Gibson?
Yes, Chairman Tolson, members of the commission, we provided you the tentative planning commission agenda for January 18th at your table. And also, I'd like to, for the commissioners here, let you know that coming up on March 29th to 31 is the League of California Cities Planning Commissioners Academy, and we're looking to see if maybe one, perhaps two planning commissioners may want to attend that conference in Garden Grove. We could reach out to you and see if that's going to be feasible. The March 29th is a scheduled planning commission meeting, so we may want to possibly consider canceling that if one or two of you decide to attend that conference. Also on February 17th is the Institute of Local Governments Planning Commissioners Training in Santa Barbara. That's a one-day event where, again, commissioners are encouraged to possibly attend that as well, and we'll also reach out to you if you're interested in that. That's all I have.
Mobile Home Rent Mediation Board,
No items tonight.
Tree Advisory Board, does the staff have anything to report?
No items tonight.
Before we conclude, I want to welcome aboard Commissioners Mayor and Kennedy. Glad to have you on board.
Planning Commissioner comments.
Planning Commissioner comments besides mine? Okay. Let's make sure I'm there. This concludes the meeting of January 4th, 2023. The next scheduled meeting will be January 18th, 2023. This meeting is adjourned.